Anyone seen Mr. Ozil?
Let's speak to Luke, who's a Newcastle fan. Hello, Luke, how are you?
Where do I start, lads? It's absolutely pathetic, isn't it? I mean, come on. They've got no idea. The players have thrown the towel in on his tactics. And this is a manager who's been in charge for 18 months, has come out and said he's going to do it his way now. So what has he been doing for the last 18 months? Has he been listening to the players? He's absolutely clueless. The club is rotten from top to bottom. There's from the hierarchy, there's people in Newcastle still think there's a takeover going to happen. What sort of Saudi consortium is going to touch it, get relegated? Because unless he's sacked, we are going to go down. He has not got a Scooby-Doo what he's got any idea of how to get out of this mess. He has not got a clue. Everybody slated Benitez. The players ran their socks off for Benitez from day one. They worked for him because in his head he had a plan. This bloke, I've never seen the likes of it. And I'm 30-year-old and I've watched Newcastle for years. And it's the worst football I've ever seen. Ever seen. It's absolutely pathetic.
So, listen, I mean, what do you think will happen then, Luke? Because we all know what Mike Ashley's brief will be, and that will be by hook or by crook, just stay in the Premier League.
I can see it coming a mile off. It's got the Steve McLaren was in charge written all over it. He'll act too late because he'll not want to put his hand in his pocket. He'll bring somebody in who will definitely not have the calibre of the manager he brought in last time. And I honestly think we'll go down unless something's done in the next 3 to 4 weeks. I really, really do. I mean, I watch Newcastle every single time I can, every single chance I get. And do you know, today, I even forgot the game was on because I thought until about 7:30. And I thought, oh, God, yeah, we're playing. Because why the hell do you want to watch that? I mean, he's got Andy Carroll up front with Callum Wilson. They're playing 20 yards apart. Mm. I mean, and he's got in midfield, he's got John Joe Shelby. He can't cross the street. He puts 3 corners in, and he's hit the first man every single time. I mean, it's diabolical. He's bought a young fullback in Jamal Lewis. Since he signed for us, he's gone backwards. Honestly, the club's rotten from top to bottom. Rotten.
Okay, I'm looking. Thanks for the call.
I think that just sums up how every Newcastle fan.
Yeah, well, if you're in, you've got to say that they're in a fight, haven't you? You've got to say that.
Do you know what though? With Newcastle, I just don't know what the answer is because they've got an owner that doesn't care about the style in which they play. No. Doesn't care about anything other than if they survive. That's all. Just cares about the money.
It's hard to disagree with that.
I don't know what the. Usually, when you see a problem at a club, you can try and work, but it's been like this now for such a long time. It's not going to change. That caller's right. No one's going to invest in the club that go down into the Championship because he'll want far more money than those people would be willing to pay.
I mean, the chances are there's probably teams worse than them, but we're not talking lots of teams, are we?
Do you feel sorry for Steve Bruce?
In what way? Why would I feel?
Well, just he's a Newcastle fan. He's getting absolute bucket loads of stick week in, week out. He's seen a team that, as a kid growing up, he idolised. He's seen that team just disintegrate before his eyes.
I think it's fair to say Steve Bruce has been in the game long enough to know what he went into at Newcastle. He went in there with his eyes wide open. He was under no illusions. This is not. He's not being hoodwinked.
It was the dream job.
Yeah, but he also knew the restrictions in which he'd be working under. It's been well documented.
Do you feel sorry for him at all?
I don't understand. I don't understand the question. Why would I feel sorry for him? It's his dream job. He's a manager of a football club, big football club.
Because it's gone so horribly wrong for him.
Well, I suppose yes. I suppose you could argue that he must be personally. He must be in pain, mustn't he, for what's going on? He's had to sit through that second half. First half they done all right. They contained. Arsenal didn't look quite at it. Second half, they just blew Newcastle away, and it was men v boys. And they made a great point. They threw the towel in. It's a very good description, actually. When the first goal went in, the game was over.
A good night for Arsenal, a bad one for Newcastle. David's a Newcastle fan. Hello, Dave.
All right, lads, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm better than you.
Oh, you are, 100%.
Go on.
Where do we start? Just a few stats for you. We scored 1 goal in 13 and a half hours of football, lads, man. How can anyone defend him? How can anyone defend Bruce? So tonight, I'm reading, it's more attacking because we've played 4-4-2. He's put Carroll up front, and then he's put Joe Linton on one wing, who's supposed to be a striker, and Almerian on the other, who's supposed to be a number 10. Neither can cross a ball. He then takes Carroll off and puts Murphy on, the only one who can actually cross a ball. Like, we are in this mess because of Steve Bruce. I don't get how anyone can defend him. It's laughable.
So when you say because of Steve Bruce, okay, are you convinced completely that a new manager comes in, you know, within reason, I'll let you pick your own man, that Newcastle will climb the table and you will end up being comfortable?
I mean, don't get us wrong. I don't think we've got a lot in the tank, but you can't tell me there's someone out there who can't get better football than this. I mean, look at the form table, lads. We're sleepwalking into relegation. Like,
yeah, I agree with that.
It's Steve McLaren all over again. We're going to wait too long. Yeah. If we haven't got a change in the next 3 or 4 games, we are down. Because, well, let me ask you: do you believe there's 3 worse teams than Newcastle? Because I don't.
Well, right now, who would you say? I mean, I saw Sheffield United.
Look, lads, Sheffield United are bottom of the league. Like, you know, the table doesn't lie. They played off the park last week.
Would you take Big Sam now, Dave?
No.
Why not?
No, I wouldn't. I tell you who I would take. I would take Eddie Howe in a heartbeat because I believe he would be able to get the players playing football to get where, even if it's just a few.
He took Bournemouth down, didn't he?
Sorry?
He took Bournemouth down.
Well, he did. Yeah, he did. But look what he also did with Bournemouth. He got.
Yeah, but you don't need that. You need someone to keep you up.
It's a different type of battle. This, you know, you are sleepwalking into a relegation. Well, you're already in a relegation fight.
100%. I mean, where do we turn to? Like, so for 18 months, Steve Bruce has talked with that he's been listening to whoever, the players or whatever it may have been, God knows why. And now tonight he's doing it his way. Nothing has changed. I mean, it was atrocious tonight, lads. And I don't want to hear about, you were all right first half, you were resilient. We were atrocious. All it was, Arsenal didn't score. They missed 2 sitters. That's it, plain and simple. We were terrible. We've been terrible for the last 3 months, let alone 3 games. I mean,
I've seen you, Dave. I can totally agree, and everyone's watched enough games of Newcastle this season. There are a number of issues. They're weak all over the park, aren't they? They just look a bit.
I think the best description so far is threw the towel in.
Yeah,
just lackluster. No effort. They're not fighting for the badge. I know it's such a cliche, but they're not. I know. I mean, maybe look, Steve Bruce has been in football long enough. He'll know if they slip closer towards that relegation door, chances are his job will come into question.